Today we will be covering the Ruger PC Carbine, which is one of the most underrated PCCs on the market, in my opinion. The Ruger PC Carbine doesn't get a fair shake, in my opinion. This thing, to me, is pretty cool, actually. So if you don't know anything about the Ruger PC Carbine, it's basically a 9mm direct blowback type operating system. But one of the coolest features to me is the fact that it takes down just like some of your 22s on the market. So you could easily store this in a pack, like if you're hiking or anything like that. 16-inch barrel, threaded, as all guns should be in the year 2025, in my opinion. But this thing is, it's not the heaviest, it's not the lightest, it's not the most compact, but it just shoots good and it's super accurate. So going over some pros and some cons on this gun, I'll start with the pros. The main thing that I like about this gun is the ability to accept Glock magazines. So when you get this gun out of the box, it will have two different magwells right here. So it comes standard with the Ruger pattern magwell for their like SR9 magazines, I believe it is. But you can swap it out for the Glock magwell, which they include with the purchase of the gun, which is pretty cool. And it allows it to accept Glock magazines. So you can take anything from a Glock 26 magazine, this little bitty 10 rounder right here, all the way up to your Glock stick mags like this. So you have the ability to run a more compact magazine like this, or you want to step it up and carry a few more rounds, you can obviously run the sticks like you see right here. The ability to take Glock magazines is reason enough for me to buy this gun, just because I have so many Glock magazines, because the only pistol that I run is a Glock. So it's a no-brainer for me. It's just a cool extension of the Glock platform, so to speak. You know, with handguns, they're hard to shoot. You know, getting past 50 yards is kind of maxing out on the capabilities of a Glock handgun in my shooting ability anyway. But if you put a magazine in this thing, hits are super easy. It's basically just effortless, because obviously it's much easier to shoot a rifle compared to a pistol. So this Ruger PC Carbine I have set up for me, obviously, which means I have the charging handle and the magazine release on the left side of the gun. So when you get it, the charging handle is on the right side and the magazine release button is on the left side. So you can change these to either side depending on what handed shooter you are. So for me personally, how I like to run this gun is I like the charging handle on the left, magazine release on the left. Basically, that allows me to easily strip a magazine once I'm done with it. I can just do it like this, and if it doesn't fall, I can strip it. And then once I insert my fresh magazine, my hand's already here, and I release the bolt just like so. So once I have expended all my ammunition, like I said, just drop this, take a fresh mag, insert it just like that. So that works the best for me. You guys can experiment and figure out what works best for you, but I find it is a pretty easy gun to operate in the configuration that I have it. So some of the cons of this setup. So for one, it's not the lightest PCC on the market. So this thing weighs just about 7 pounds, not including your ammunition. So if you have a full magazine, it's gonna go up from there. Optic, light, anything like that, it's just gonna go up from there. Also, this thing is a bit punchy. So if you can see right here, this thing has a very massive bolt, and every time you shoot, that thing is impacting your shoulder just directly. Now, it's not a terrible amount of recoil where you cannot control it, but you notice it once you're shooting it. It is a definitely punchier than say like MP5 or MPX, which not even the same category, but it's a fair comparison. So it's not terrible, but like I said, you definitely feel it. So another con that I would say would be the overall form factor of this rifle. So most PCCs that are out today are in a pistol configuration, meaning they are shortened barrels with a pistol brace on them, or no stock, no brace at all. Now, if you can obviously look at this and see that it is a full-blown rifle, and that's okay for its intended use. You know, nobody's expecting this to be like a PDW, like a replacement for an MP5. I see this as like a carbine that like a farmer would keep like on his side-by-side, like checking cows or something like that. You know, if you see a predator or something, you could take a more accurate shot than compared to a pistol. I feel it fits that role more than like you know, a tactical MP5, MPX, like super short, suppressed PDW style build. So obviously when you look at this, you don't think like super tactical. I think of more like functional, like, you know, predator hunting, or just really this would be an absolute ideal home defense gun in my opinion. You put a weapon light on the bottom, have you a stick magazine like you see here. You don't get the over penetration of like a 5.56, but you have the shootability of a rifle with a 9mm cartridge that still packs a pretty decent punch if you have like a 124 grain gold dot in it. So those are a few cons. The weight, the recoil, the overall size package. You know, it's not your most sleek, slim line PCC out there, but all that to say, it's still a really, really fun gun to shoot. And thankfully, Ruger threaded the PC Carbine 1/2x28 for you to attach your favorite suppression device. I have here a Yankee Hill R9 suppressor. And now when you add a can, which this is not the lightest 9mm can out there, but it definitely adds a little bit of weight once you add this can on the very front of the gun, but it makes it a lot more enjoyable to shoot. Super quiet. Now obviously with me running supersonic ammunition, it's not going to be the quietest package. When you run subsonics out of this, it is very quiet. Most all you hear is the bolt mechanism going back and forth. So all in all, that's hot by the way. All in all, I really like this this Ruger PC Carbine. I picked this one up used for a good deal, so I don't have all that much into this gun, but I would buy one at full retail just because I like this gun so much. Now, like I said, it's not the most tactical, it's not the most sleek, softest shooting, but for what you get for the money, I think it is a really good deal. For me personally, I'm going to add one of the Magpul backpacker stocks to this. I forget exactly what they're called. I'll overlay an image on the screen, but it'll take this gun to the next level. Have it in one small package. You know, you can put it in a backpack hiking, or, you know, it's like a bug out gun, so to speak. I don't know if anybody still uses that term since it's not 2013 anymore. But overall, I don't think this gun gets enough attention or a fair enough shake, but I really like it, and I think it fits a lot of needs pretty well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and hit that subscribe button if you liked our video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.